Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be reviewing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 47-7 win versus the Detroit Lions. Your Tampa Bay Buccaneers are now 10-5 on the season, but more importantly than that, for the first time since 2007, 13 years ago, your Tampa Bay Buccaneers and my Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to the playoffs, confirmed. It is officially official. The Buccaneers have a spot in the playoffs for the first time in 13 years. And the first thing I want to say before I get into reviewing this game is, man, it feels oh so good knowing that. I'm sure you all agree with me. It feels good knowing the Buccaneers are going to be going to the playoffs again. And there are plenty of people to thank for that. You know, Tom Brady, the coaching staff, there's so many people who have played an important role in this season that have led the Buccaneers to this point. I would be spending an hour talking about all those players. So, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been hanging out for the season here. Now we get a chance to play some playoff football. Thank you to the players. Thank you to the coaching staff. There have been certainly some down moments at certain points, but at the end of the day, the Buccaneers are going to the playoffs, and it feels so freaking good, and I know you all feel the same exact way. But with that being said, let's start getting into this review. The first couple of things I want to mention is just the bad, and there really wasn't a whole lot. There are two things that I did not like from this game versus the Detroit Lions. Number one, the special teams unit struggled pretty freaking hard in this game. Kenyon Barner struggled as a returner mightily in this game. He made a lot of weird decisions in terms of returns and, not taking fair catches and things like that. It was not a fun time. Ryan Succop was 0 for 1 on his field goals and 5 for 7 on his extra points, so definitely need to shape up a little bit better moving forward. He missed 2 extra points in the field goal. Not the worst day ever, did just have kind of a bad game. I think he will rebound. But Bradley Pinion, 3 punts, 1 inside the 20, and overall pretty decent day from him, but need to have a little bit better of a return game, need to have a little bit better of a game from Ryan Succop in the future. And then next, the penalties. There were a few penalties to end the game. It wasn't anything crazy. I believe they finished the game with 6 penalties, something along those lines, which is right around that average that I'm generally okay with, but definitely want to see improvement in terms of the overall penalty game for the Buccaneers team as a whole whenever you're finishing out games, because it's still very crucial. It can still extend drives, and it can still be a problem if you're not careful. But with that being said, guys, that is really all I've got in terms of the bad. Now we can start focusing on the good. First things first, the quarterback. Tom Brady, 22 of 27, 348 yards, 4 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. Tom Brady now holds the franchise record for most passing touchdowns in a season by a quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I believe he is at 36 right now, breaking Jameis Winston's previous record of 33 that he had last season, and there is still 1 game left to be played, so he can expand on that record. He does have that opportunity. So congrats to Tom Brady for having that record. That is absolutely awesome. Blaine Gabbert, the backup quarterback, even got involved. He was 9 of 15, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. So even the gift of Gabbert did good. Drink it in, man. Okay, a lot of people were, not happy with Blaine Gabbert's performance. I thought he did a very good job, and I was very happy to see him get out there and throw a couple of touchdown passes. In the running game, Vaughn, 15 carries, 62 yards. Leonard Fournette, 9 carries, 34 yards, and a touchdown. Overall, pretty efficient day from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers running game. I thought that they did an excellent job. In the receiving game, Mike Evans was the absolute star of this game. 10 catches, 181 yards, and 2 touchdowns on 12 targets. The man only needs, I believe, 39 yards to have 1,000 yards on the season, and thus breaking Randy Moss's record for most consecutive 1,000-yard seasons to start a career. He is very close, and he definitely has a chance to get that versus the Falcons. Chris Godwin, 5 catches, 84 yards, and 1 touchdown on 9 targets. Rob Gronkowski, 2 targets, 2 catches, 58 yards and 2 touchdowns. Then finally, Antonio Brown, 6 targets, 4 catches, 35 yards, and a touchdown. Just a very good game by the Buccaneers passing game. And I will say this here. The Detroit Lions did not have pretty much the entirety of their defensive coaching staff, nor did they have their offensive play caller either, due to the fact that they were all out on the illness list. I believe that definitely played a part in this game. It reminded me a lot of the Saints versus Denver, whenever Denver did not have a quarterback and they had to play a practice squad wide receiver out there. But regardless, still a great game by the passing game, still a great game by the runners. Overall, a very, very solid game by the Buccaneers offense as a whole. Also, moving on to the defense now, Devin White, 10 tackles, 1 sack, 10 tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, and 3 quarterback hits. He is at 9 sacks on the season. He needs 1 more to finish this year with double-digit sacks. Also, moving on, Levante David, 5 tackles. Jordan Whitehead, 4 tackles, 1 pass deflection. Herb Miller, 4 tackles, 1 pass deflection, and Herb Miller actually also got an interception, so shout out to him for that. There was a forced fumble at some point. I'm not sure who forced it, but somebody did force a fumble, and that was recovered by Jordan Whitehead as well, so good job to him for that. And then really, finally, just taking a look at some of the other numbers. Jason Pierre-Paul, 2 pass deflections, 2 quarterback hits, no sacks, unfortunately. He is still at 9.5 on the year. Shaq Barrett, 1 tackle for loss. Devin White had that sack that I mentioned. Will Golson had a sack, a tackle for loss, a pass deflection, and a quarterback hit. Anthony Nelson had a sack, a tackle for loss, and a quarterback hit. And then also Jeremiah Ledbetter had a sack, a tackle for loss, and a quarterback hit. Overall, very solid day for this Buccaneers defense as well. And, as I said earlier, yes, it was the, situation of the Detroit Lions not having their entire coaching staff and things like that, and they didn't have their offensive play caller, and that definitely played a part into this game being what it was. But this is going to be a confidence booster for a lot of the Buccaneers offense, a lot of the Buccaneers defense as well. And a couple of records were broken today. A couple of records were, closer to being broken. Mike Evans is very close to breaking the record now. I think he has a very, very strong chance of breaking that in that Falcons game in Week 17. And overall, it was a phenomenal game by this Buccaneers unit as a whole. And I will say it again, the Buccaneers are making the playoffs. And that is so good. It feels so good. I mean, geez, right? I mean, almost speechless, that feeling. We're going to be able to live stream reactions to playoff Buccaneers football. Like, that's so incredible to me. Tom Brady broke a record today. I will say I was a little surprised that they took Leonard Fournette out early of this game and put in Keyshawn Vaughn. Keyshawn Vaughn did very good in this game, by the way. Had almost 100 scrimmage yards, but I was a little surprised. I don't know if Leonard Fournette's dealing with an injury. I don't think he is. Maybe they just wanted to rest him after they realized the game was pretty much out of reach for the Lions. I'm not sure. They did do that for Tom Brady, and I saw a lot of people be upset about that they took out Tom Brady after the first half. I have no problems with that because I don't want to see Tom Brady sustain any type of injury that could hamper him or even potentially eliminate him from playing in the playoffs for the Buccaneers. I don't want to see that at all, and I know you guys would not want to see that either. So I had no problems with the Buccaneers taking Tom Brady out after the first half. I thought Blaine Gabbert did a fine job finishing the game. The gift of Gabbert did what he needed to do. It was nice seeing the backups get some playing time as well. Keyshawn Vaughn looked very good. We'll see if he gets some more playing time moving forward, or if Ronald Jones can be available to play starting next week. So, going to be some interesting movement in that Buccaneers running back room moving forward here, going into the playoffs. And then, now we're definitely microscoped in on Mike Evans to see if he can get that last 40 yards that he needs versus the Falcons. I think he can. I don't think the Falcons are going to triple team Mike Evans just to make sure he doesn't get the record or anything like that. I think he will have his opportunities to break that record that Randy Moss set. And it would be really cool if he broke it with the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady, throwing him the ball. That would just be a really feel-good story for Mike Evans, and I'd be very excited to see that. But that being said, guys, that is going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts about everything that I talked about down in the comment section below. How do you feel about the Buccaneers being back in playoff contention? How do you feel about this game and how everybody performed? And overall, what are your thoughts about Mike Evans and all the other things that could happen regarding stats here going into the final week of the season? But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. The Bucs are going to the playoffs, and I'm loving life right now. But I will see you guys in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs. See you guys soon.